Welcome everyone to the second video in the Linux Basics series, and today, as the title says, we're going to be installing Debian. It's going to be quick and simple, nothing funny, we'll get straight to the point. So first, let's just search Debian in your browser. Go to the Debian website, the big download button right here will download the latest stable version of Debian, which will as of recording this is 12.4, which is bookworm, and yeah, you'll download it. It'll start a download up here, and you just wait for that. Second, we're gonna go to Berliner Etcher, search that, go to the website, download Etcher. Download it for whatever operating system you're on. There's Windows, macOS, Linux. Okay. You'll download that, and I'll do that right now to just demonstrate how it looks once you're inside. So once you've downloaded Berliner Etcher and opened it, you'll press on Flash from File. You will go to where your Debian install is, which is probably in your downloads. You'll open it, select it, and then you'll get a USB stick or flash drive, plug it in. I'm going to select it here, and then press flash. Now I'm not going to be doing that. I'm going to be using a virtual machine, but it'll be the same process. So once you've flashed your hard drive, you'll plug it in, or keep it plugged in, and you're going to restart. Now when you restart, hopefully you know what the button is for your boot menu. That's usually F12. So you're going to press F12. If it's not that, search what the boot menu option is for the boot menu key is for your device. And then once you're on the boot selector, you're going to select the flash drive and boot into the install. So when you boot into Debian, this is the screen that you should see. There will be graphical install, advanced options. Yeah, you're just going to click on graphical install and then wait for it to load up. So now here, first step, select the language. I'm just going to do English. I'll click next, continue. And then you select your location. I'll just take the US right for now. American English, just simple stuff. Now you'll wait for this step to finish up. It'll probably ask you now which network adapter to use. If you're on wireless and you don't have an Ethernet cable plugged in, you just select wireless. And if you have an Ethernet cable, I recommend using Ethernet cable. So, host name, I'll just make it test. This doesn't matter. It's just like what the name of your device will be, basically. I'll just call it test. Continue. Domain name, you can skip this. And then users and password. So root password. Root password is very important. This is basically the password that will give a user the permissions to install things, delete things, manage the system. So make this whatever. I'll just make this 1234 and 1234. And now next, full name for the new user. You can put your full name, whatever you want. I'll just do Tux Tech. Cool. Then username for your account. This will usually just be like your first name, but you can change it to whatever you want. I'll just keep it as Tux. Now you make a password for your user account. I'll just make it 1234 again, and 1234 again. Now it'll ask you to configure your clock. I'm just going to do whatever. This is just a VM. And now it will start. This will now be the disk partitioning. So this will ask you how you want it to be installed. If you wanted to use your entire disk, if you wanted to do manual. So if you wanted to use the entire disk and do it by itself, partition it how the installer thinks it should be, then just press guided use entire disk. I will make a separate video on how to partition your drive properly for every distro. It works the same. Use entire disk, select your disk, and now I'd say select separate home partition. And now you are going to, finish partition changes, whatever. Yes. And now it'll install. So I'll be back when it's done. Now that we're done, we're going to now configure the package manager. So a package manager is just something that helps you install things through the terminal. In this case, it's Debian apt, and all you're going to select here is your country, or it's closest to your country, so that you get the fastest speeds when downloading something. I'm going to choose United Kingdom, why not? And you can select any mirror here, it doesn't really matter, just continue. And here you can also leave this blank. I'll configure the package manager. Configuring popularity, okay, so this, you don't have to say yes to this. Generally, Linux is about freedom and not having a data collection. If you want to send this data to Debian, you can. If you don't want to, it's fine. So you can select no, yes, doesn't matter. Now, this is quite an important part. Your desktop environment. So, the desktop environment is how your operating system will look. Now, you can do research about all these desktop environments listed here. What I recommend for beginners, in general actually, either GNOME, the first option here, or KDE Plasma. As of what I know, they work very well with Debian. But if you have really low specs, like your device is quite old, you could try out XFCE or LXDE, LXQT. They're quite lightweight desktop environments. But in this case, I'll just select GNOME. Okay, I just skipped the download process. Took a couple minutes. It's done. You're gonna get to this screen. Install the grub bootloader, and you're going to want to select yes. Now it does say it seems that this installation is the only operating system on this computer, so it should be safe to install. So you can get to this screen. If you installed over your whole drive, select yes, and you're gonna select your drive. Installing grub bootloader. Grub is just a menu that will pop up when you boot into your laptop or into your device. And wow, shocker, we're in. Isn't that crazy? I'm gonna select our user and then put in your password. Crazy. And you're in. Welcome. There's going to be a bit of a welcome screen here. Location services you can turn off. I usually do that. Start using GNU Linux. Cool. We're basically done. But now usually you would be done by this point. But there's still one more thing. When you want to install something, like I said, we made the root password. So if we open a terminal here, every time you want to update something like that, you will have to use the sudo keyword. So sudo just stands for super user do, and it's like the admin permission basically. So what you're going to want to do first, before you do absolutely anything, you're going to just copy the commands I will show now. So you're going to type in su and then put in your password. This will give you root permissions. Now you're going to put this command in, and it's going to open a file. Now, don't be scared, don't be worried, just go down. Go down to here, under root privilege specification. I'm going to type your username, which is tux for me, and you're going to literally just copy exactly what this says here. All is equal to bracket all colon all bracket all. I'm going to hold Control and X. Going to ask you to save modified buffer. Y. Just press Y. And then you're going to press Enter. And boom. Now you can type exit to exit root. And now your user has root permissions. So now if you want to update your system, you can run sudo apt update. Like we said, apt is the package manager. Type in your password, and boom, all packages are up to date. If it does detect new packages, after you ran sudo apt update, you run sudo apt upgrade. Cool. So that's basically it. GNOME is very easy to navigate. As you can see, if you press on this, or if you press your Super L key, you're going to be able to switch virtual desktops, check out your apps. There's the software store. And I would like you to see, right, this is a VM with only 2 GB of RAM, and I think it's running pretty smooth. So it shows how fast it actually is, even with one of the more resource-heavy desktop environments. If we check the system monitor and go to resources, we can see 1.4 GB being used. So yeah, that's about it. If you have any other questions, you can ask in the comments, or you can just check online. But this is about all you need to get a basic setup.